Hello everybody, welcome back to another Anatomy and Physiology live stream. Today we are doing some Anatomy and Physiology 2. We're doing some final exam practice prep. You can also find this practice exam for download on my website. The link to that is in my TikTok bio here. I also have it on my story as well. You can find it there also. But hello everybody, we're doing some Anatomy and Physiology 2 final exam prep here. Hello, I hope you all are doing well. We'll get started here in just a moment. How's everyone doing? Thanks for sharing the live. Thanks for liking the live. The more that you guys do like the live, it does get it out to more people, so we can help as many people as possible on their upcoming Anatomy and Physiology exams. But hello everybody, welcome in. How's everyone doing? I hope that you are all doing super well. Hope you guys are all doing well during finals season. I know finals is definitely a rough time. This is also a great review for your Hezi and T's as well. But how's everyone doing? Hello. Good morning, Andrea. How are you doing? Good morning, Maramara. How are you doing? It's good afternoon for me, I guess, now. It's just hit noon, so good afternoon, good morning to everybody that's here today. We'll get started here in just a moment. But how's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. If you got a final coming up, I wish you nothing but the best of luck on your final. I passed my exam 4 with a 97 thanks to your anatomy reviews. Awesome. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Jackie. That's awesome. A 97 is incredible. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know that. But that is awesome. So proud of you. Hope that you're proud of yourself. But all right, guys, we can go ahead and we can get started here. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics. I do post these to YouTube afterwards as well. It's linked in my bio. And then I also have notes for anatomy and physiology from when I was in the class. I got an A in the class. I got 100% on my final exams. You can find all my notes on my website, MedZeg. That is also linked in my bio. And then I have you can find the practice test there as well under practice tests. And then I also have a link to that in my TikTok story as well. But we'll go ahead and get started here, everybody. Welcome in. Hello. My name is Ollie. Number 1, which of the following is a formed element in blood? Number 1. This is for Anatomy and Physiology 2, final exam practice. Again, it's great for Hezi and T's as well. But I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys do request. I'll give you guys a moment to answer. We are on number 1, which of the following is a formed element in blood? And hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for liking the live. I appreciate it. The more that you guys do like the live, it does get it out to more people so we can help as many people as possible on their upcoming anatomy and physiology, final exams, Hezi and T's, and whatnot. But I'll go ahead and give another second here so people can get in here. But number 1, the answer is C. It is an erythrocyte. So erythrocyte is a formed element. Their cells are cell fragments. They are basically red blood cells. Plasma is a liquid component. Water is a component of plasma. And electrolytes are dissolved ions. Number 2, which component makes up the majority of plasma? Which component makes up the majority of plasma? Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining. If you're just joining, welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology, and these do get uploaded to YouTube directly after. It's linked in my bio, as well as my website with all my notes for anatomy and physiology, and then the practice exam can be found on my website as well. I do have the link to this exam on my TikTok story also. If you want to go there to find the exam to do it yourself, basically has everything. It has the answer key at the end as well. Number 2, the answer is B. It is water. So water makes up about, I would say, it's about 90 to 92% of plasma. Red blood cells are not part of the plasma. White blood cells are also not part of the plasma. And platelets are formed elements of the blood. They are not part of the plasma. Number 3. What color is bilirubin, and what is its origin? I'll give you just a moment to answer that. So what color is it, and where does it come from? And hello, everybody that just joined. Welcome in. My name is Ollie. I go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics. We do these practice questions every single day, and I do upload them to YouTube afterwards. And I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I've been tutoring anatomy and physiology for about 5 years now. Number 3, the answer. So bilirubin is green, and it originates from heme breakdown. So it's a green pigment that gets formed when you break down heme. Number 4, bilirubin is primarily processed in which organ? Bilirubin is primarily processed in which organ? This is for Anatomy and Physiology 2 final exam. This is for undergraduate level. Then number 4, bilirubin is processed in D, the liver. D, the liver. The liver processes bilirubin for excretion into bile. All right. Number 5. Which white blood cell is most abundant in a healthy adult? Which white blood cell is most abundant in a healthy adult? Yeah, so the spleen is responsible. So the spleen mainly breaks down red blood cells. Will recycle kind of the material in red blood cells, but it does not process bilirubin. But number 5 makes up about 60%. 60%. And the answer is a neutrophil. So neutrophils are about 60%, and they're kind of like our EMT firefighters. They're our first responders. They're the first ones on the scene. Basophils are least common. Lymphocyte is about 20 to 30%. They are the second most common. And eosinophils are more so for allergies, sometimes parasites as well. But lymphocytes are our T cells plus our B cells. Eosinophils, these are for allergies. These are approximately like 1 to 4%. But number 6, which white blood cell is primarily involved in antibody production? And then I'll talk about the specific white blood cell of the subunit here. But hello, everybody that just joined. Welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do go live every day if you're just joining us. I go live every day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys do request as well. What is a basophil? Basically, they're white blood cells that are more so for allergic reactions and inflammatory responses. They help more so with allergens and pathogens and parasites. They release histamine. Basophils release histamine, essentially, which is a pro-inflammatory factor. Number 6, which white blood cell is primarily involved in antibody production? The answer is letter choice B, a lymphocyte. Particularly are B cells. So antibody, body has a B, B cell. So B lymphocytes or B cells make antibodies. A monocyte, those become macrophages. They become macrophages. And these are for phagocytosis, which is engulfing material. Eosinophils, like we just talked about, those are for allergies, parasites. Neutrophil is that general phagocyte, which we just went over was the most abundant, our first responder. They do not produce antibodies. Alrighty, moving on to number 7. I'll leave that question up there. Number 7, why is type O negative blood considered the universal donor? Why is type O negative blood considered the universal donor? And hello to everybody that just joined us. Welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics that you guys request, and I upload the live stream to YouTube afterwards as well. That's linked in my bio, as well as my website that has all of my notes for anatomy and physiology. And then I also have the practice test in the practice test section on my website. I also have it on my TikTok story. I have a link to it as well. Thank you for the finger hearts. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate it. Number 7, why is type O blood considered the universal donor? The answer is B. The answer is B. It lacks A, B, and Rh antigens. So no antigens means no immune response. So antigens equals no immune response. So no antigens, no immune response. So if it lacks antigens, it's going to lack an immune response. If it has all antigens, it would cause all reactions. Anti-A and anti-B antibodies, that's for like plasma, not red blood cells. And then high hemoglobin, this is irrelevant. But number 8, why is AB positive blood considered the universal recipient? And hello, everybody that just joined. Welcome, welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology. And I also post these to YouTube afterwards as well. It's linked in my bio, but it's also my YouTube. Here is just my name. It's Ollie Herzig. And I do have notes to anatomy and physiology from when I was in the class. Those are also linked in my bio on my website, Medzig. And then I have the link to this practice test in my TikTok story. It's also on my website as well under practice tests. But number 8, why is AB positive blood considered the universal recipient? The answer is C. It has no antibodies against A, B, or Rh. So it can receive all types. If there's no antibodies, it can receive all types of blood. It produces antibodies? No, it produces none. So none does not produce them. It has anti-Rh antibodies only. This is false. And it has low plasma volume. It's just something that is not related. Number 9, the pulmonary circuit sends blood to what? The pulmonary circuit sends blood to what? And if I do miss a question, I apologize. Sometimes I write on my screen and I miss it. But if I miss a question, just go ahead and put it back in there. But lymphocytes is a lymphocyte part of innate or adaptive immunity? Lymphocytes are more so associated with the adaptive immunity, mainly because the cells carry out an antibody response, or they have a cell-mediated immune response, basically distinguishing things differently from a natural killer cell. Number 9, the pulmonary circuit sends blood to C, the lungs. So we have systemic circuit, which we'll go over. So number 10, the systemic circuit sends blood to. So our pulmonary circuit, let me draw, this is how I draw a heart here. I have our chambers, and we have our pulmonary artery that goes from our right ventricle, and then we have our pulmonary veins. We have our lungs, crappy lung drawing. This goes to the lungs, these comes back from the lungs. This circuit here, and systemic circulation is where we have our inferior vena cavas and superior vena cavas in our aorta. That is going to be our systemic circulation. The answer is systemic circulation is going to be C, entire body except the lungs, and that is because this is part of the pulmonary circuit. So again, pulmonary circuit, the process here, it is to send blood to the lungs, get oxygenated, come back, and then we're going to put it into systemic circulation to get all the blood out to the rest of the body. Number 11, which layer of the heart is responsible for contraction? Responsible for contraction. And hello, everybody that just joined. Welcome in. There's about 600 of you now. Thanks for joining. I hope you guys are doing well. My name is Ollie. If you're new here, I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology, and I post the live streams to YouTube afterwards as well. It's linked in my bio. And then I also have my notes and study guides from when I was in the class on my website. It's also linked in my TikTok bio. And then I have the practice exam available for download in my TikTok story. It's also on my website under practice exams, but this is free here, and this is on YouTube as well if you want to rewatch it. Yes, this will help with tease testing as well, yes. Thank you for doing these lives. You're a good teacher. Thank you so much, Natalie. I appreciate it. Yeah, we can definitely explain this one. Yeah, absolutely. This is good notes. Alrighty, number 11. So which layer of the heart is responsible for contraction? The answer is B. Oops, I didn't mean to cross that out. The answer is B. It is the myocardium. So the myocardium is the muscle layer. And if it's the muscular layer, muscle contracts. So this is what is going to contract. The endocardium, remember, endo means kind of more inside or a lower level. So this is going to be our inner layer of our heart. The epi means above of our heart. The epi means above. Below, epi above. So this is going to be our outer layer of the heart. And the pericardium is that protective sac that covers the heart. So it's not part of the wall, but it covers the heart. So again, myocardium has muscle, myo. That gives that away for muscle. Muscle layer, that's going to contract. Endo, meaning below, so our inner layer. Epicardium, epi meaning above, outer layer. Number 12, what is the correct order of blood flow through the heart? What is the correct order of blood flow through the heart? And while you guys are answering this, the best way that I always think to do this is how I always practiced blood flow, is I drew a heart, and these are the chambers. And then this little crappy drawing here, this ends up being our apex. And then I always draw the inferior and superior vena cavas. Then you have your right atria, right ventricle, left atria, and left ventricle. So the answer is A. So we go from our, I'll put this in blue. So we go from our right atria to our right ventricle through the tricuspid valve. Then we go through the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary artery to go to the lungs to get oxygenated. Then we come back through pulmonary veins into the left atrium through the mitral or bicuspid valve. So remember, tricuspid before bicuspid. Tri before you bi. So tricuspid before you bicuspid. Into the left ventricle, and it gets pumped through the aortic valve, out to the aorta, out to the rest of the body, through the aortic valve. All right? I just recommend, that's how I kind of practice that. Draw out the heart, just 4 little boxes for the chambers. Draw it out yourself. Practice it over and over 10, because you can't get it wrong, like a little road map. Just like you're getting from your house to the store. Alrighty. Number 13. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much for the hand hearts. Thank you guys. I learned more in the past 4 minutes. I did my whole semester. That's fantastic. Yes, this is for an ANP too. That's definitely the goal. I probably should have. I usually have a header here, but I forgot to put it in here today. But Number 13, on an ECG, the QRS complex represents. What does it represent? And hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. My name is Ollie. I go live every day covering anatomy and physiology. Then we're on number 13. And an ECG, the QRS complex represents. And I actually have a couple videos on my page on the QRS complex. If you'd like to go check them out. They were from a couple months ago. Excuse me. My favorite subject to study. Yes, this is my favorite subject to study as well. All right, so let's go through this. So in ECG, the QRS complex is going to represent B. It is ventricular depolarization. Ventricular depolarization. So this is electrical activation of the ventricles. Atrial repolarization, it does happen, but it is hidden by the QRS wave. So this is hidden. So you don't really see this. Atrial depolarization is the P wave, and ventricular repolarization is the T wave. Yes, I do publish these questions. I have it linked in my TikTok story, or it's on my website. It's under practice tests on my website. Or this will be uploaded to YouTube afterwards as well if you can't stay for the whole time. Alrighty, moving on to number 14. Which part of the cardiac conduction system initiates, initiates the heartbeat? Which part of the cardiac conduction system initiates the heartbeat? Atrial repolarization is hidden by the QRS wave, so it's hidden by the QRS wave. So if we have our little, I'm going to try to draw this. So this is our Q, our S, T, and P. So we have depolarization of the atria. We have depolarization of the ventricles. And then we have repolarization of the ventricles. So depolarization is where we get our action potential. Repolarization is where we try to get back to rest. But number 14, which part of the cardiac conduction system initiates the heartbeat? The answer is B. It is the SA node. So the SA node initiates it. The AV node, you have something that's called AV node delay. AV node is going to delay that electrical heartbeat. The bundle branches conduct the signal after the AV node, and then the Purkinje fibers are going to be the final part of the pathway. Alrighty. Number 15, the AV node is located in which region? It's specifically at a junction, mostly. Studying for finals, I need motivation. I feel like I'm drowning. Oh my goodness. Keep it up. No, definitely keep it up. At the end of the day, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Keep going. So the AV node is located mostly in our right atrium, particularly closer to the junction with the ventricle. So it is closer to the ventricle, but it is mostly in the right atrium. Number 16, the Purkinje Purkinje fibers distribute impulses to where? Remember, the Purkinje fibers are part of the pathway, and they are the final part. So the final part, final pathway. So if you think about in terms of a heart contraction, where would this be most important at? Where would the electrical impulse be most important? Nursing student here too. Hope everyone is doing good on their finals. How long is this live? This live will be going on for a while. I have 75 questions here. I do post it to YouTube afterwards as well. My YouTube name is linked in my bio, but it's also my name. It's Ollie Herzeg. I'm going to number 16. The answer is B. It is the ventricles. B, ventricles. This is what causes the ventricles to contract, pumping the blood from the heart to the lungs or pumping the blood from the heart to the rest of the body. So that's what helps us get through systemic and pulmonary circulation. Alrighty. Number 17. Arteries carry blood. Arteries carry blood. Awesome, Paige. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics. I've been tutoring anatomy for about 5 years now, and I do post these to YouTube afterwards, and also I have my notes and study guides from when I was in the class on my website. It's also linked in my TikTok bio. But arteries carry blood. Answer choice B, away from the heart regardless of oxygenation. So regardless. Veins carry it back to the heart. So again, you have a pulmonary artery that carries blood from your right ventricle to the lungs, and it's deoxygenated to become oxygenated. And then you also have your embryonic ones as well. Embryonic is switched as well. Those are the exceptions for. But the way I always remember, artery has an A in it. Artery equals away. And then vein is back. And then same thing with the pulmonary vein. That is oxygenated, not deoxygenated. And then embryonic as well. Number 18. Which blood vessel type is the site of gas exchange? Capillaries, we'll talk about capillaries in just a moment. Number 18, what blood vessel type is the site of gas exchange? I'll give you guys just a moment, and thank you guys for joining and being a part of this live. I hope your finals are going well. I will be manifesting and hoping for nothing but A's and 100s for you guys. I'm number 18. The answer is C. It is a capillary. So capillaries have thin walls, basically allowing for what we call diffusion. So this is where we have our wall and then our oxygen and our carbon dioxide and our nutrients can be exchanged along this wall. It'll go from the arteries to the veins, so it goes artery. Here, let's go through this pathway real quick. It goes from artery to arterial to capillary to venule to vein. And then the common denominator here is the heart. All right. I just have some Bible verses on my bracelets. Number 19, the innermost layer of an artery is called what? The innermost layer of an artery is called what? And then let me... Can I use this study for my... Yeah, absolutely. You definitely can. Yes, these lives are recorded. They are posted to YouTube as well. This is more so for undergraduate anatomy and physiology, not medical school, but definitely would be good review for you. Study sheets are on my website, MedZig. It's also linked in my TikTok bio. But the answer to number 19 is C, the tunica intima. So this is the endothelium that lines the lumen. So this lines the lumen. The tunica externa, externa meaning external, this is our outer layer. The media, think of media as middle, so this is going to be our middle layer. This is also the muscular layer. And the endothelium, this is part of the tunica intima. Number 20, hydrostatic pressure pushes fluid. Hydrostatic pressure pushes fluid. Where have you been my whole semester? I've been going live every day this semester, not in the fall. Thank you for what you're doing. Yeah, no problem. I love doing these. Thank you guys for being here. Really, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate all the follows. Thank you for following. Thanks for liking the live and sharing. I definitely just want to help people out in their final exams. It's a very stressful class. So this is for undergraduate, but it is good review for medical school and PA school. Again, these questions aren't really designed for those, but they're more so toward undergraduate level class. I just finished this course. Where were you? I'm going. I guess not showing up on your For You page. I'm so sorry. 20. Hydrostatic pressure pushes fluid B out of capillaries. So hydrostatic pressure gets it from capillaries into tissues. Answer choice A, into capillaries. So into capillaries is osmotic pressure. Through veins. Veins use valves, plus a little bit of muscle movement. And then into lymph. Lymph picks up excess, but not by hydrostatic pressure directly. It's more so indirectly. Oh, my bad. I just answered the next one. Number 21, osmotic pressure pulls fluid. Osmotic pressure pulls fluid. Osmotic pressure pulls fluid. It is into the capillaries. Answer choice A. So again, pulling pressure into, it is the osmotic one, as we just talked about up here. Number 22, what is the function of albumins in plasma? What is the function of albumins in plasma? Number 22. The answer is fluid balance via the osmotic pressure. Fluid balance via the osmotic pressure. All right. So when we have fluid balance via the osmotic pressure, let me make sure we have the question right. So albumins are like the large, abundant, like plasma proteins. So it's, I'm gonna be more specific. In terms of this, it's oncotic, but it's colloid osmotic pressure. That's the force that pulls water into blood vessels from surrounding tissues. Number 23, pulse pressure is calculated by. Pulse pressure is calculated by. Pulse pressure is calculated by. The answer is B. It is SP minus DP, which is systolic minus diastolic pressure. This is going to represent the force that the heart generates with each contraction. So let's just say force per contraction. Number 24, the brachiocephalic artery is a branch of the what? The brachiocephalic artery is a branch of what? Awesome. It is B. It is the aortic arch. So the brachiocephalic artery is the first major branch off of the aortic arch. This is going to supply the right part of the head, arm, and neck. The common carotid is a branch of the brachiocephalic, not like vice versa. So the common carotid is a branch of the brachiocephalic, but the brachiocephalic is a branch of the aortic arch. So it would go like aortic arch to, I'm just going to put BC for brachiocephalic, and then CC for common carotid artery. Subclavian artery, that branches from the brachiocephalic on the right side. And the pulmonary trunk goes to the lungs. That's unrelated. So, let's see. Alrighty. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Number 25. Which vein drains blood from the lower limb? Which vein drains blood from the lower limb? I'll give you guys just a moment to answer that. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology. And I do topics that you guys request as well. Number 2, which vein drains blood from the lower limb? The answer is C. It is the great saphenous vein. It is the superficial vein that drains blood from the lower limb into the femoral vein. The jugular vein is going to do head and neck. The brachial vein drains the arm, not the leg. Cephalic is going to be, it also does the arm as well, so not the lower limb. And the sphenius is also going to be our longest vein in our body for our little trivia questions. Sometimes I always call these stuff like that, trivia questions. I don't know if they're questions on your exams, but sometimes you get them in a trivia. Number 26, respiration is best defined as. Also, to see this gas exchange between the body and the environment, our inspiration and exhalation. does refer to gas exchange, not just moving air. But these are our ventilation. And then cellular respiration would be D. That's internal. Number 27, which bone does not contain a sinus? Which bone does not contain a sinus? Awesome, awesome. The answer is C. It is the mandible. The mandible, which is part of the lower jaw, does not have a sinus. These three all have a paranasal. Oh, thank you for the money gun. I appreciate it. More Bash. Thank you, Bash, for the money gun. Appreciate you. Paranasal sinuses. Number 28, the vocal cords are found in the power of C. Yeah, so I put like the question and answer into a little I try to randomize the answer choices, and I have like a little randomizer. I'm like, put these answers in order from like 1 to 4, and so for some reason C or B ends up being pretty common. It needs to be a little different. Oh boy. But never pay attention to the answer choices. Don't worry about that. I actually once had a professor one time. All of the answer, he had an exam where all the answers were B. It was like 20 questions, and every single thing was B. And then the next exam, he had one where everything was B except for like one in the middle, and it was C. And he said like almost literally like nobody in the class got it right. And he put like an answer that was it was monstrous, man. The stress that came from that was brutal. But number 5, the answer is C, larynx. The larynx, or vocal cords, are our folds. They also can be called vocal folds. Are located in the larynx. The pharynx is more so just kind of like the throat region. The trachea is our windpipe, and the bronchi are the air tubes to the lungs. So no vocal function there. Number 29, the right lung has how many lobes? So if we're looking from our right lung, left lung, the answer is C. It has 3 lobes. So the right lung has 3 lobes, and the left lung has 2 lobes. One's wrong, and no, 4 is also just false. Number 30. What force drives normal inspiration? So what force? Normal inspiration. Good afternoon, Lucia. How are you doing? Answer choice is C. It is the diaphragm and the external intercostal muscle contraction. So the diaphragm contracts, and the external intercostals, they lift the rib, creating a negative pressure. Relaxation is going to happen during expiration. Elastic recoil is a passive force in exhalation. And gravity more so plays a pretty minimal role in the mechanics of breathing. All right. Thank you for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. I always love welcome. And then if you're not new here and you're returning, welcome back. My name is Ollie, and I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics that you guys request. We're moving on to number 31 now, which is tidal volume. Tidal volume is defined as what? And this is practice for Anatomy and Physiology 2 final. It's also good for HESI and Ts. This is an undergraduate level practice exam. You can also find it on my website under practice exams or my TikTok story. but number 8 is C. It is the air that moves in and out during normal breathing or restful breathing. Total lung capacity, this includes all of the volumes. Air exhaled after a normal breath, B. This is going to be our expiratory reserve volume. And then D, the maximum air in after a normal breath. This is the inspiratory reserve volume. Let's scroll down. All right. So again, tidal volume is the air moved in and out during normal or restful breathing. Number 32, a cough is an example of what kind of breathing? Number 32. So it's kind of a more trickier question. So coughing isn't actually part of breathing. It is a protective reflex. So it's technically a non-respiratory air movement. So it's a protective reflex, not part of typical respiration. So respiratory movement, it's not involved in gas exchange. So no gas exchange. Again, yes, it's a reflex, but it is not part of breathing. So not part of breathing. So that's why B is wrong. So it's a little bit of a trick question. And then normal expiration, coughing is forceful. So this is forceful, since you have to force it out. So it is not normal. And normal in this condition would mean restful. So again, it is a non-respiratory air movement. Yes, this will be uploaded to YouTube. My YouTube is my name. It's Ollie Herzig. I'm going to write it right here. But it's also linked in my TikTok bio. Number 33, sneezing differs from coughing. Sneezing differs from coughing. Awesome. It is C. It is triggered by nasal irritation. So sneezing is a reflex due to, so you have nasal mucosa. This gets irritated, and a reflex of sneezing is what's going to get that out. Clearing throat, more so a cough. Originating in the lungs is false because it originates in the nasal passages and only in the diaphragm. It's not true. There are multiple muscles involved when it comes to sneezing. So it's not just the diaphragm, so not only. All right. Number 34. The lymphatic system returns fluid to what? Where does so we get excess fluid and circulation. We go through the lymphatic system, we filter that, and where does it return it to? Awesome. It is C. It is our venous system. It's our venous system, number 34. So lymph gets returned mainly via the subclavian vein, which is part of our venous system. Right atrium is indirectly. Aorta is our arterial system, and our arterial system. Lymph does not enter arteries. It enters veins, mainly at the subclavian vein. Number 35, lymphatic trunks drain into. Lymphatic trunks drain into. And thanks to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. If you're new here, my name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics. Today we're doing an anatomy and physiology final exam review. And I also do other topics that you guys request. This is also great for heads and T's or just some anatomy review in general for you. But we are on number 35 now. I do upload these to YouTube afterwards. My YouTube is linked in my bio, as well as all my notes for anatomy and physiology. Number 35. The answer is C. It is collecting ducts. So lymphatic trunks lead to the thoracic duct or the right lymphatic duct. So we have the trunk, and this drains into either the thoracic duct or the right lymphatic duct. All right. Number 36, tissue fluid becomes lymph when? What is the moment that it becomes lymph? Thanks for everybody that just followed me. Welcome. I love new faces here. Welcome, or welcome back if you're not new here. Thank you so much for joining. I love doing these live streams with you guys. They're so fun to do. Thank you so much for joining. Tissue fluid becomes lymph when it, answer choice A, it enters a lymph capillary. Enters a lymph capillary. So interstitial fluid is renamed lymph once it enters a lymphatic capillary. Number 37, lymph nodes are found in all of the following areas except what did I say for undergrad? So undergrad, I did kinesiology and biomedical sciences, and then my master's program, I did molecular medicine. Number 14, I'm sorry, not number 14. Number 37, I don't know why I said 14. I was looking at a different number. Number 37, lymph nodes are found in all the following areas except the brain. So the brain lacks lymph nodes. So it's because it lacks lymph nodes. The brain uses the cerebral spinal fluid instead. And then it's like the G lymphatic system for waste removal. The axilla is wrong. The inguinal is wrong, and cervical. These are all common lymph node regions. Number 38, the spleen is most similar to. This question I made myself. You can find it on my website. I also have it linked in my TikTok story as well. I do offer online tutoring, yes. Right now it's a little full, but send me an email. It's linked in my TikTok bio, and we can definitely figure it out. If I miss any questions, I apologize as well. My website is Medzeg. It's also linked in my TikTok bio. When I usually go live every day, kind of around 1 p.m. But the spleen is most similar to a lymph node. Answer choice B. So they both filter fluids. The spleen does blood. Lymph nodes obviously do lymph. And they both support immune functions. So both immune function. All right. 39, innate defenses include what? I have an exam on the fetal pig tomorrow. Oh my goodness, good luck. So number 39, innate defenses include C. It is the skin and mucosal membranes. Or I'm sorry, mucous membranes. So innate is basically, it means non-specific. So our skin is our first line of defense. First line of defense. So what you're here, and let's draw a big head and a nose. So if you have a pathogen and it enters on your skin, you get it on your hand and you wash your hand, or it goes into your nose and then you sneeze it out. Antibodies are part of the adaptive immunity system, meaning that antibodies can have antigens to initiate an immune response. So there's innate versus adaptive. Adaptive is specific. Innate is non-specific. T cells are part of the adaptive immunity. They initiate cell-mediated immune responses. And then memory cells are also adapted. They basically, once you fight off this bacteria, if you encounter a second version of it, you have memory cells that attack it. It basically initiates that immune response faster. Number 40, T cells mature in the This is very helpful. Awesome, thank you. Yes, I'm glad it's helpful. Definitely just trying to help everybody out on their upcoming exams and whatnot. The answer is D. It is the thymus. So T cells, think of T, thymus, they mature in the thymus. So T cells are named after the thymus because that's where they mature. Bone marrow is where the T cells are produced. So bone marrow is what produces the T cells, but they do not mature in the bone marrow. They mature in the thymus. And then the spleen and liver is not part of it at all. So this is for production. This is for maturation. Number 41, B cells produce what? B cells produce what? Very educational. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Awesome. B cells produce B antibodies. So I think of B, antibody has a B. So B cells differentiate into plasma cells and secrete antibodies. Cytokines, these are mainly by T cells. Phagocytes are macrophages. Complement proteins, these are made by the liver. Number 42, which of the following is part of the alimentary canal? This is undergraduate level anatomy and physiology. This is for undergrad. This is just a review little practice test for anatomy and physiology finals and HESI and TEAS as well. The answer is stomach, C. So the alimentary canal is the continuous tube which goes from our mouth to our anus. This is going to include the stomach. The liver, pancreas, and gallbladder are all accessory organs. So the alimentary system, or alimentary canal, is the tube that goes from your mouth to your anus, continuous. All right. Number 43, the innermost layer of the GI tract is... they're on my website. It's linked in my TikTok story. It's also linked in my TikTok bio as well. 43, the mucosa is the lining that is basically what is coming into contact with our food. The muscularis externa, this is going to be responsible for the motility, so moving food throughout the GI tract. The submucosa is the connective tissue under the mucosa. And the serosa is going to be our outermost. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. Welcome in. I always love the new faces. Welcome in or welcome back. Again, this gets posted to my YouTube afterwards. It's my name. It's Ollie Herzeg. This will be up later today. And I also have all my notes on my website, like I mentioned. Number 44, segmentation differs from peristalsis in that what? What is the difference? All right. Segmentation differs from peristalsis in that it mixes food back and forth. So it mixes contents in the small intestine for absorption. Stronger is not always true. One direction is peristalsis, and voluntary, the GI muscles are involuntary. So these are involuntary. One direction is peristalsis. Stronger is not always true, sometimes, but not always. This can be downloaded on my website, Medzeg. I also have it linked in my TikTok story for download. But again, you can rewatch it on my YouTube at Ollie Herzeg. It's linked in my bio as well. Number 45, which gland is under the tongue? Again, under the tongue. It is B. It is the sublingual gland. So sub means under, lingual means tongue. So sublingual means under the tongue. Sub, under, lingual, tongue. So it is literally under the tongue. The parotid is near the ear. So not under the tongue. The submandibular is below the jaw. So below the jaw. And the buccal refers to the cheek area. Number 46, what is one of the main functions of the liver is what? One of the main functions of the liver is what? One of the main functions of the liver is what? Awesome. And the answer is B. It is detoxification. So the liver will filter and detoxify blood. Basically, it'll help remove drugs or mainly alcohol. Your liver is what detoxifies alcohol from your system. Other toxins, the insulin is produced by the pancreas. Storing bile is the gallbladder. The liver produces bile, it does not store it. And secreting digestive enzymes. The liver produces bile, not enzymes. The pancreas is what secretes our enzymes. Number 47, the cystic duct connects the gallbladder to the Yeah, I wouldn't really be concerned about which answer choice it actually is. I've had a professor one time for one of his tests. It was 20 questions. All the answers were B, and then the next test, all the answers were B except one, and it was just one answer was C, just to like play mind games. It was miserable. It was stressing me out. But it definitely taught me a lesson. Don't worry about which answer choices are which. There's no there's no pattern. I can assure you that when I do these, they're all random. So if it ends up being a couple in a row that are the same one, that is due to a random event. The cystic duct connects the gallbladder to the answer choice A. It is the common bile duct. So this is where the cystic duct joins the hepatic duct to form the common bile duct. The common hepatic duct, that comes from the liver. It meets with the cystic duct, but it does not connect directly to it. The duodenum, the bile goes through the common bile duct to reach the duodenum. On the liver, the gallbladder does not directly connect to the liver via the cystic duct. Number 48, the duodenum is... The duodenum is... It is C. It is the first part of the small intestine. This is going to receive chyme from the stomach. And then it is also going to get any secretions of bile or enzymes from the liver and pancreas. Alrighty. Number 49, the primary function of the large intestine. The primary function of the large intestine. Thank you for the goat, Sunster. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the gifts, everybody. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology topics that you guys all do request. We're doing a final exam for Anatomy and Physiology 2. I'll be posting this to YouTube afterwards. My TikTok, a link in my bio has my YouTube, as well as my website with all my study guides on it. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. But we are on number 49. The large intestine primarily functions for water and electrolyte reabsorption. Or absorption. So the small intestine is where majority of the nutrient absorption is going to occur. So a lot of our nutrients gets absorbed, and then whatever is left, so that indigestible matter goes into the large intestine, and then we are going to absorb the water and electrolytes from that, and this is basically what is going to turn our food matter into poop. Under a little poop thing here. This is our poop. Essentially where that occurs. But number 50, which of the following is not a function of the kidneys? Which of the following is not a function of the kidneys? I'll give you guys just a moment to answer. Awesome. Thanks for the follows, everybody. Thanks for liking the live as well, guys. I really appreciate it. We're almost at, we just hit 14,000 likes. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. I love doing these live streams. They are so fun. I hope this is helping. Number 50. Which of the following is not a function of the kidneys? The answer is C, bile secretion. This is by the liver, and then it's stored by the gallbladder. Answer choice A, regulation of blood pressure. This is true. The kidneys help regulate blood pressure via the renin-angiotensin system. B, red blood cell production. So kidneys release erythropoietin, which is like a hormone/protein. This is going to stimulate red blood cell production. And D, filtration of blood. That is the main job. So this is the main job. And yes, this is going to be up on YouTube as well. Number 51, the kidneys are located. The kidneys are located The answer is C. It is retroperitoneally. So this is behind the peritoneal cavity against the back body wall. So again, it is behind. So retro meaning back or behind the peritoneal cavity. Number 52, blood enters the kidney through the Yeah, that's definitely why it's important to know your terminology for sure. I had a medical terminology at the same time as ANP1, and it definitely helped, but it especially helped for ANP2. So that's definitely a class I recommend taking with ANP1 or before it, if you can. Definitely a big help. The answer is the renal artery. So again, blood is going to enter, so we have, let's just talk about our little systemic circulation here. I guess I'll draw this blue arrow for deoxygenated. Let me redo this. Again, so blood enters the kidney, so we are going into the kidney. So we're going away from the heart, meaning artery. Renal meaning kidney, so renal means kidney. So renal artery carrying blood to the kidney. Renal vein is back to the heart, kidney. So the renal vein is from the kidney back to the heart. Hepatic artery would be, so hepatic means liver, so that would be to the liver. And the abdominal aorta would supply the renal arteries, but it does not directly enter the kidneys. All right. So abdominal aorta is going to go to the renal artery, but the renal artery is going to directly supply the kidney. And the renal vein from the kidney, and then the hepatic is liver. Number 53, what is the functional unit of a kidney? A functional unit is the smallest structure that allows for the function of a system to take place. Do I do graduate level reviews too? Yes, absolutely. And again, I do post these live streams to YouTube afterwards as well, if you want to go back and watch it or anything like that. The answer choice is A. It is a nephron. Let's talk about it. So a nephron is responsible for, it's the whole functional unit. These are the structures that make up the functional unit of a kidney. All of the stuff within the nephron is what allows for the function to take place. Therefore, it is the functional unit of the kidney. So the glomerulus is part of the nephron, more so for filtration, but it's not the full unit. All right? So it's a nephron. The ureter is carries urine from the kidney to the bladder, and the urethra is going to carry it to the external environment, hopefully your toilet. So this is our ureter, and this is the urethra. All right. Number 54, filtrate flows from the glomerulus into the what? I love that word, glomerulus. Yeah, I know. It's an interesting word. I have so much trouble. For the reason, it just was like not a word that rolls off my tongue. If I don't say that word for a while, it does not roll off my tongue easily for some reason. Number 54, the answer. Filtrate flows from the glomerulus into the proximal convoluted tubule. This is our PCT. This is the first structure filtrate enters after leaving the glomerulus. The renal pelvis collects the final urine, but not the early filtrate. The collecting duct comes later on, and the loop of Henle comes after the PCT. So ANP and BNP Act 2. ANP and BNP Act 2. Also, if you are unaware of what these names are, ANP it's atrial natriuretic peptide, and then BNP is B type. All right. And we'll talk about them in just a sec. But they act to, the answer choice here is C. It is to lower blood volume and pressure. These are hormones. They essentially are going to promote, sodium and water retention. So they're natriuretic peptides, which are hormones. They are secreted by the heart, and they basically they regulate blood volume and blood pressure. Atrial is secreted by the atria of the heart, and the B type is mostly by the ventricles. Basically, in response to increased blood volume or blood pressure via the atria or the ventricles. But yeah, like I mentioned, they increase sodium and water retention. I'm sorry, I messed up. This is excretion, not I was like, that sounds wrong. So it increases sodium and water excretion, not retention. Alrighty. Aldosterone, number 56, aldosterone promotes B, sodium reabsorption. So aldosterone is going to increase sodium reabsorption in the distal nephron, which also promotes water retention, which is going to increase, so we increase water retention. And then we also increase our blood volume plus our pressure. All right. Number 57, a renal clearance test measures. Do I have to do NCLEX reviews? Yes, I have done those in the past. Yes. A renal clearance test measures what? I thought I lost mine. Thanks for correcting. Yeah, so sorry about that. Yeah, I said it out loud, and I was like, I strung something in me. I was like, that doesn't sound right. And then I was like thinking, I was like, wait, no. I apologize. Sometimes I speak, my brain and my mouth don't mix well. The answer is B. It is glomerular filtration rate. So it's the clearance of substances like creatine. Is going to estimate our GFR. So this is our GFR, glomerular filtration rate. This is basically an indication of how well the kidneys filter blood, essentially. So blood pressure is measured with a cuff, not like the blood pressure cuff, not the clearance test. Hemoglobin levels are measured by blood count, and urine pH does not indicate clearance of that. Number 58, which is longer and more complex? Let's get on 20K likes, class. Thank you, Peace. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys a lot. You guys are awesome. I love doing these live streams. They're very fun. And it's all thanks to you guys. The answer choice is B. It is the male urethra. So the male urethra is a little bit longer. It's about 20 centimeters. Passes through the prostate and the penis. It has basically passageway for both semen and urine. The male urethra is about 4 centimeters. And its shorter length is kind of what more so contributes to urinary tract infections. So this is why women are more prone to getting UTIs compared to men, just because of the length of the urethra. Number 59, endocrine glands differ from exocrine glands in that. Watching this from UK during exam season, this is very fun. Awesome, thank you, I appreciate it, amazing. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, thank you, I appreciate that. I just took my Anatomy and Physiology 2 last night. Your live streams were great practice. Awesome, thank you so much, Gianna, I really appreciate that. I hope your final went well. Thanks for joining back after your final as well, I appreciate it. But the answer is endocrine secrete into the blood. So endocrine glands secrete hormones directly into the bloodstream. Exocrine is in the ducts and onto surfaces such as sweat. So endocrine, blood, exocrine, ducts, and surfaces. Number 60, the nervous system differs from the endocrine system in that what? I take my T's Thursday. Awesome, good luck, Gianna, you got this. Taking the T's test tomorrow. Josie, awesome, good luck. Just finished. I just finished Advanced Human Physiology, and these are great study guides. Awesome, thank you so much, I appreciate it. This looks like some of my medical assistant questions. I need to take the NHA. Awesome. I'm literally finished undergrad last week, but I'm low-key missing these tests. I know, I missed taking tests sometimes. My teas is coming on Saturday. Oh, good luck on your teas. We'll definitely do some more teas reviews coming up as well. But number 60. The nervous system differs from the endocrine system in that D, it uses neurons and neurotransmitters. So nervous system is, so these neurons and neurotransmitters are going to be electrical plus chemical signals. Is there an answer key? There's 75. And yes, on the practice test, there is the answer key at the end. Number 61, upregulation increases. ANS and special senses. I actually did Madison. And I also did a nervous system live last week. It's on YouTube, actually. Again, if you are new here, my YouTube is my name. It's Ollie Hertzeg. It's also linked in my TikTok bio. But I also just did a nervous system. It was uploaded last week. I have an exam about this topic today, and this is helping you remember. Awesome, thank you, Mary. I love this topic. I know, me too. I love doing this as well. Oh, and I missed a whole lot. Don't worry, it'll be on YouTube afterwards. We have about 15 more questions, so you're catching the end. But upregulation increases the number of receptors. The number of receptors. So cells become more sensitive by adding receptors when hormone levels are low. 62, steroid hormones, what? Steroid hormones, what? Love your wristband, thank you. I have a John 3:16, and let me pull this up. And it is Jeremiah 29:11. I got them years ago. I got them like 8 or 9 years ago. So they've lasted me quite a while. I had a bunch more, but they've broken. But these two have remained strong. Someone please motivate me to start studying for my exam. It's on the 5th. You got this, Madison. If you don't study for your exam, then this whole semester has been worthless. That's the way that I always thought of it sometimes. Like, Finals is rough, especially in like April and May when the weather is just so nice. It's my favorite time of the year. This is the first year that I haven't had like a final exam around this time. It's been wonderful. But then I also help other people prepare. But yeah, you don't want to retake the echo. You don't want to retake the class. Yeah, don't go through it again when you don't have to. But the answer choice here is C. Steroid hormones pass through cell membranes and they affect DNA. So basically steroids like cortisol, estrogens, they enter cells and they bind to our nuclear receptors. Basically, this is going to regulate genes. But again, they do not bind for cell surface receptors. That's for peptide hormones. So this is peptide hormones. B are proteins. They are lipids. Steroids are lipids. So they are lipids. And stored in vesicles. They are made on demand. So they are not stored. So on demand. Number 63. Which hormone increases glucose levels in the blood? And there's also decreases. He knows the plans. He does. Thank you for this, my bio 131 final. May 12th. Awesome. Good luck on your final on May 12th. You got this. Keep up the good work. It'll be here before you know it, and it'll be over, and hopefully you can relax this summer. Alrighty, but the answer is D. It is both B and C. So both cortisol and glucagon increase glucose levels in the blood. So glucagon raises blood sugar quickly. Cortisol sustains that glucose during stress. Insulin is going to lower our blood glucose. So these two are going to increase, and insulin is going to decrease blood glucose levels. (64) Cortisol helps the body respond to, we kind of just talked about it. As I mentioned, it increases glucose levels in response to stress. All right. 64, you just talked about. Insulin functions to lower blood sugar. Again, glucagon and cortisol raise it. Insulin functions to lower it. 66, which of the following is not a steroid hormone? Which of the following is not a steroid hormone? Awesome. The answer is C, thyroxine. Thyroxine is a thyroid hormone that is mainly derived from amino acids, not lipids. All right, so not lipids. Estrogen, cortisol, and aldosterone are all steroid hormones. Downregulate, number 67, downregulation occurs when, and hello to everybody that just joined us. Welcome. It goes hand in hand with metabolism. Yes, so the thyroid is responsible for metabolism, so thyroid hormones help with regulating metabolism. But hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in if you're new here. My name is Ollie. I go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics. I've been tutoring for about 5 years. And I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine. And I do upload these to YouTube afterwards as well. It's linked in my bio, as well as my website with the practice tests and my notes for anatomy and physiology. Peace tap that, guys. Thank you, Peace. I appreciate you. You're awesome. Making my day. Literally taught myself everything. No teacher, just me. Awesome. That's awesome. That is definitely a skill that is important to have to be able to teach yourself. But downregulation is C. It targets cells to reduce sensitivity. So target cells reduce sensitivity. So cells remove receptors in response to high hormone levels to decrease the sensitivity. So less receptors, less things to bind to, less sensitivity. More receptors, more things to bind to, more sensitivity. Right? 68, testosterone is responsible for I made these questions myself from a study guide that a student sent me. And then I got these questions. I basically got these questions from my textbook, but they're kind of similar to a study guide that was sent to me. Which, if you do send me your study guides, I will make questions that are similar to them on live streams that you guys request. Happy to do it. But 68 is C, it is sperm production and male secondary sex characteristics. C. So testosterone drives spermatogenesis and essentially are traits like facial hair and deep voice. Ovulation is estrogen plus luteinizing hormone. Breast development is estrogen, and labor contractions is oxytocin. All right. 69, during meiosis I, which phase separates homologous chromosomes? Awesome, everybody. It is C. It's anaphase 1. So again, homologous chromosomes are pulled apart to opposite poles during anaphase 1. Prophase 1 is where they pair up. Metaphase 1 is where they align in the middle. Telophase is the final part, final phase, not separation. Number 70, the testes descend into the scrotum via the testes descend into the scrotum via the answer choice B is the inguinal canal. So this is basically during fetal development, the testes pass through this canal. Vas deferens carry sperm. The epididymis is where the sperm matures, and the spermatic cord is what is going to contain the blood vessels and nerves. Taking my exam. Literally had 2 over the stuff. Oh my goodness, good luck on your exam. Number 71, the sperm cell contains enzymes in the hi, where do I get these practice questions? So the practice questions themselves are inspired, per se. I got a study guide emailed to me by a student, and the questions are similar to what was on that study guide, but the information comes from my textbook, kind of, so using a little mix of both of those, and my notes as well. These are almost verbatim what I'm studying for the bio section of the DAT. Awesome. Yeah, no, definitely is great review for anatomy and physiology too. Just kind of whatever covers anatomy as well. Sometimes not always specific. It's just more so just review, you know. I don't think ANP that I'm covering would be on the SC2. Yeah, some of this would be on there. I do have, if you go on my YouTube is on my TikTok bio, I do have a lot of HESI and T's anatomy and physiology practice for HESI and T's. But the answer is D. It is the acrosome. So the acrosome, it contains enzymes to penetrate the egg. The tail is for motility. The head is what is going to contain the nucleus, not the enzymes. And the midpiece contains the mitochondria for ATP. I have my final today. Awesome. Good luck on your final today, Kayla. Good luck. You got this. Number 72, which layer of the uterus is shed during menstruation? Yep, this will be posted to YouTube today. Yep. Pretty much right afterwards today. Because I know a lot of people have a final exam later today and tomorrow, so I definitely want to try to get it up as soon as possible. The answer is A. It is the endometrium. The endometrium is the... Oops, I hit my thing. So sorry. I hit my stand. There we go. So the endometrium is the inner lining of the uterus. This is where implantation occurs. So if shed, there is no pregnancy. The myometrium is the muscular layer, meaning myo, meaning muscle. Perimetrium is the outer layer, and the serosa is another name for the perimetrium. So again, our endometrium is the inner lining where implantation occurs, and if it's shed, there's no pregnancy. Blank version is in my TikTok story. I have a link there. Start anatomy and phys this summer. Awesome. Good luck on anatomy physiology this summer. I'll definitely keep posting, so stick around. Hopefully, if you're willing. Number 73. Estrogen promotes what? Estrogen promotes what? Just follow, but I go follow on YouTube. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Definitely let me know if I can post anything that would help at all. But good luck. You got this. Summer is definitely, it depends on what kind of summer class it is. But I know some people take the sped up version over the summer. But number 73, estrogen promotes A, ovulation and uterine lining growth. So estrogen thickens, so more so thickening, so thickens. And it peaks to trigger the LH surge in ovulation. Yep, if you came in late, this is going to be on YouTube afterwards. My YouTube is my name. It's also linked in my TikTok bio as well. But again, estrogen thickens the endometrium, and it peaks to trigger... So this is going to trigger the LH, luteinizing hormone surge. It's going to trigger ovulation. Testosterone secretion, not related. Milk production is prolactin. Menstrual cramps, that is prostaglandins. I'll put that in there. Again, the LH surge triggers ovulation. So a spike in luteinizing hormone causes the follicle to release the egg. And that is promoted, the estrogen promotes the LH surge, which triggers ovulation. So estrogen, LH surge, ovulation is that pathway. Number 75, the seminal vesicle contributes. Hello, hello, welcome in, welcome. Hello, hello. And if you just joined us, welcome. We're on the last question here of our Anatomy and Physiology 2 live stream. Do I have one about bones, muscular? Yes, I actually just uploaded that from this weekend. I wish I was doing my internship. Oh yeah, I wish too. I wasn't doing this in 2020 though. I started tutoring in 2020, but I started doing the live streams like this semester. Alrighty, last question here. The answer is A, it's fructose for sperm energy. So seminal vesicles add a fructose-rich fluid nourishing the sperm. Hormones for egg release, not true. Mucus comes from the like the bulbourethral glands, and testosterone comes from the testes. So this was it for the live stream today. Again, I will be posting this to YouTube, actually directly after up there. This is my YouTube. It's linked in my TikTok bio, and then my website has all of my notes and study guides. From when I was in the class, I also have the practice tests on there. That's also linked in my bio. The actual practice test is linked in my TikTok story. It has all the same questions if you want a blank one, and it has the answer choices at the end. And then I have the YouTube video here for the explanations for all these if you want to go back over all those. But I will be back again live tomorrow at 1 p.m. We are going to do the endocrine system tomorrow and a little bit of hormone review. So endocrine plus hormone review, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday will be chemistry at 1 p.m. Actually, it will probably be between like 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. So 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. But again, if you want access to these questions, so osteopathology, yeah. So definitely send me any topic requests that you guys want on either email me or post it in a comment. So I'll be posting the live schedule for this week. Go to it's like my third most recent video. It has the TikTok live schedule on it, but comment like what you want to see, and I will put those together for you. But again, if you can't make something, it'll be on YouTube afterwards. My YouTube is right here. You can rewatch it there. Do anything. Who's on a dirt bike? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'll end the live stream soon. They're doing yard work here, man. They're cutting the grass. I swear, they cut grass so much. I do it every day. They were doing it yesterday. I don't know how long it's taking. What time? Honestly, as soon as it processes. It depends, because I have to download it from TikTok onto my phone, and then I also have to upload it from my phone to YouTube. So 2 processing times. So, I would say maybe an hour or 2. Or thank you. Am I a teacher or a doctor? I'm a tutor. I'm trying to get a job as a professor. I've been applying. And then I've also been applying for PhD programs, and I'm thinking about actually taking the MCAT this summer to go to medical school. So, if you guys are interested in MCAT content, respiratory and digestive systems, please. My time right now, it's almost like 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Amazing tutor. I'm in the U.S. Amazing tutor. Good luck in your future. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Look at this epicular good. Awesome. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I do that all the time. I swear, they're always mowing the lawn. I don't get it. There's not much grass around here either, so I don't know why. They're always doing it. My name right here, YouTube, right here. It's also linked in my TikTok bio. And then my notes are on my website, MedZeg. Also, these are all linked in my bio. Do I have all of this memorized? For the most part, yes, I do. Definitely, like, there's some things that still trip me up now and then, but for the most part, I do remember all this stuff. I mean, I've been doing this stuff forever. I took it in undergrad. I've been tutoring it for 5 years, and I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I had to take medical anatomy and medical physiology and like the medical school class as well. So I've had undergrad and graduate school, and I've been tutoring it now for 5 years. So I have majority of this stuff memorized. More so, teaching the best way is to learn. Yes, it absolutely is. I love teaching this stuff. But yeah, I've had so much experience with it at this point that I have a good bit of it memorized. I'm almost at the point where I feel like maybe if this is a Guinness World Record of just reciting all of the information that you learn in anatomy and physiology from like start to finish. I feel like I almost have that at this point. Probably not. It's overestimating, but it feels like it at this point. Just because I do go live every day. I tutor. I make videos on the stuff. So it's my life. So I try. I always try to brush myself up on stuff as well. If I can't remember something very well. But I am going to get going. I'll be back again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Sometime between 12 and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going over endocrine system. Are there any other quick questions here before I get going? Once again, I want to thank you all for joining and being here. I love doing this. I love you guys. This is just so fun to do. I appreciate you guys. Again, this will be up on YouTube as soon as possible. But thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thanks for all the follows. Thanks for all the likes. Thank you for sharing the live and sharing with your friends and family and stuff. I really appreciate it. At the end of the day, I really just want to help people in anatomy and physiology. It's a hard class. It is an overwhelming amount of information, so anything I can do to make it a little bit easier and just help you practice is definitely what I want to do. See you tomorrow, Bianca. Thank you. Yep, this will be available on YouTube as soon as possible, hopefully within the next hour or two, ideally. Thank you. Yep, no problem. Thank you so much. Thank you, David. I appreciate you for being here. Bye. Have a great day. Have a great day, Princess. Thank you so much. I've got med exams year 1. Oh my goodness. Good luck on your exams. Good luck on your year 1 exams. Any other quick questions? I'm going to get going here, but thank you guys so much for almost 20,000 likes on live as well. You guys are incredible. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to get going, but thank you guys so much for joining and liking the live. You guys are awesome. Again, this will be uploaded to YouTube afterwards as soon as possible, basically as soon as it is done processing. But thank you guys for all the likes on the live. We hit 20,000 likes. Yippee. But see you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.